This is Sean O'Malley, and you're watching Full-Time MMA. Don't be a bagel biting, bagel bitch boy, bagel bitch back.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time
MMA.
And holy flying flipping flapjacks, full-time family. I'm at a little bit of a loss for words, not because this shit is so shocking, because I'm a little confused here, you guys, so I'm gonna need your help. We're all just fans of this sport, and from the information we're getting fed two different stories here. And the official story that I actually am leaning toward believing is that Jon Jones is snitching. That's what I'm believing, because that's what the paperwork says. Now, what does that mean? Yeah, that could hurt his reputation, because, I mean, you know the day and age we're in. People don't like snitches. It is what it is. It's one thing if you're just trying to clean up the sport, right? And I've seen people make that argument. Why are people mad at Jon Jones for cleaning up the sport and possibly turning in somebody else? That's not why. That's not where the snitching thing is a problem. The problem is you didn't want to clean up the sport until you got caught. So yeah, you might be doing a deed to clean up the sport, but it's not out of the goodness of your heart. It's to save your fucking self. And so that's why snitching is looked down upon. You're not just coming out here and being a good Samaritan, you're trying to save yourself, dog. And with that being said, either way, we still aren't 100% sure if Jon Jones is snitching, because you've got people in the media, you've got fucking, I believe, Jon Jones Manager, you've got a lot of people coming out and saying Jon Jones didn't snitch, Jon Jones contaminated supplement. And that's not the truth. Somebody's fucking lying, and I don't think it's USADA and their paperwork, because they're as official as a whistle, and they are professional about their shit down to the T. A lot of people were like, oh, USADA's getting paid off. No, they're not. And I can tell you how they're not. The only reason people thought USADA was losing their integrity was because Jon Jones and Brock Lesnar were coming back. But there's reasons they're coming back, because USADA's doing their job. Jon Jones is only coming back because he got a 30-month suspended reduction sentence because he told on someone. We don't know who it is, and his manager said, oh, he could just be telling on himself. Get the fuck out of here. That's not how snitching works, dog. You don't fucking tell on yourself and they're like, alright, you're free. They caught you doing something, so how can you tell them you were doing more shit? Like, alright, now that we caught you, come clean with us and we'll let you go. No! Now that we caught you, show us where you're getting these motherfucking steroids, or show us a bunch of other motherfuckers taking these steroids, or show us some shit that will help us clean up the sport. And not only show us, give us substantial assistance. And oh, by the way, at any time if Jon Jones stops giving substantial assistance, we will give you your 30-month suspension right fucking back. This video is interesting to me. It's weird to me, full-time family. You got really reputable media members coming out and saying Jon Jones is pretty much innocent. That's not what happened here. If you're actually looking at the facts, Jon Jones presented 14 different supplements to USADA to test and see if they could find a dirty one. You're throwing shit at the wall and hoping it sticks. A lot of guys say, hey, I was taking this and this. Please go test all that shit and prove me innocent. So USADA goes to the store, they buy all the supplements off the shelf, and they test them, and they come back dirty. That's a contaminated supplement. When you know what you were taking, and you say, hey, USADA, I was taking this, and they go get that off the shelf, and they test it, and it's right. That was contaminated. You didn't do anything wrong. We found the contaminated supplement. Jon Jones didn't say, hey, I was taking this. He said, hey, I was taking all this shit. All 14 of these. Test all of these and see if they're dirty. None of them were contaminated, which means we still don't know what supplement Jon Jones was taking. What, were you taking 16? You already gave us 14 motherfucking things to test, dog. So with that being said, Jon Jones was not able to use that as a defense. he was not able to prove it was a contaminated supplement. So anytime you see these media members, and I hate fucking doing this because I'm not trying to call fake news on big ass media websites and get shadow banned any longer, but what I'm saying is anytime you see someone coming out and saying Jon Jones had a contaminated supplement, they're lying out of their ass. They're either not doing their research or they're trying to protect Jon Jones's image. And I'm not trying to harm Jon Jones's image. I don't got nothing personal against Jon Jones. But as a fan of this sport and someone that wants USADA to have some integrity, we need to know what's going on here. Because if USADA's letting Jon Jones and Brock Lesnar come back just because they're big stars, that's bullshit. And that's not what's happening. In order to come back, Jon Jones is having to fucking tell on something. Now, we're not going to know the details. We're not going to know who it is. Unless fucking a bunch of fighters from Jackson Wink start getting, you know, rounded up by USADA. We can't say Jon Jones told on his teammates. I don't think he would do that. But he could for sure throw someone under the bus that he doesn't give a fuck about. Like, I don't know. Maybe he met like a fucking steroid dealer 1 or 2 times and they're like, yo, John, you got to give us somebody. And he's like, well, I do know that steroid guy, right? Because it's terrible if you're telling on your teammate, right? Or someone close to you. Like if Jon Jones came out and fucking told on like Holly Holm or, you know, Jackson Wink, any of those people at that camp. I'm like, hey, all of us were on it. I'll help you catch all of my teammates and coaches. And you know the guy that Donald Cerrone said, you know, was our wrestling coach? Him too. He was definitely part of it. You know, throws him under the bus. Like if Jon Jones comes out and destroys Jackson Wink by snitching, there's no coming back from that if you tell on your fucking teammates. Even your fans aren't going for that. But if Jon Jones was just providing substantial assistance about a potential steroid dealer, that's probably something, you know, that he's not friends with. Like, you never want to hear someone telling on their friends, someone they did business with, nothing like that. But the only way Jon Jones really comes out of this with, and it's still a dirty slate. I mean, the fact that he's got snitch tied to his name, there's going to be some people that say, fuck that. I'm not a fan of Jon Jones. Not only has he failed multiple drug tests, but now he's, you know what I'm saying, getting a 30-month reduction by turning in somebody else. It's not because he was clean. It's not because he had a contaminated supplement. He didn't get a contaminated supplement and USADA say, all right, we'll take 30 months. We have the fucking paperwork that says 30 months of this suspension was lifted because you provided substantial substance. You provided substantial assistance when we're looking for banned substances. And so with that being said, there's, like I said, Jon Jones' manager recently joined Ariel Helwani's MMA show. And he said shit like, to my knowledge, Jon Jones isn't telling on anybody. He said, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, Jon did not tell on any teammate. You know how that is, man. I swear, when I heard that, I said, oh, this dude, and he said, I don't want to speak too much because I don't want to make this any crazier than it already is. But just in that sentence, if you want to nitpick, he said, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, Jon did not tell on any teammate. Okay, you said any teammate. You're leaving room there for what about a coach? What about a supplier? You said he didn't tell on any teammate. He said, then he continued and said, Jon did not tell on anyone in the MMA. Jon did not do anything these people are saying he did. So all that, he's a snitch and all that stuff, we can put it to bed. He did not do that. Now that sounds good and you want to believe it. If you're a Jon Jones fan, you want to believe it. You don't want to believe Jon Jones had to fucking tell on somebody to come back to MMA. You don't want to believe he is dirty. He did fail the drug test. It wasn't a contaminated supplement. No, the reason he's coming back is not because he was innocent. It's because he's telling on somebody. And people really aren't coming to that conclusion. Now, there's some people that are, but I'm just saying, it kind of weirds me out when I see media sources saying Jon Jones had a contaminated supplement, because I'm like, no, he didn't, man. Are you guys, either these guys are not doing their research and not looking into the USADA paperwork, or they're protecting Jon Jones here. But either way, you could have, now Jon Jones' manager, of course he's going to protect Jon Jones. He's not supposed to be unbiased. Did you expect Jon Jones' manager to hop on here and say, yeah, guys, you're right, Jon Jones fucking told on somebody, he's a filthy cheating snitch? Did you expect that from his manager? No. Now, the media is a different story, right? Because they're not his manager. They don't have Jon Jones' best interest at heart. They're just supposed to be doing their job and reporting on the story. Like, yeah, here's what USADA says. And so I say all of that to say this, because this is where we're at now. The fact that USADA came out and put out the paperwork and it revealed Jon Jones was, quotation marks, snitching. They didn't use that word, of course. They said providing substantial assistance. So the fact that USADA let everyone know Jon Jones is providing substantial assistance, and now we've had all of these different people in the media and also Jon Jones's manager come out and say, no, Jon Jones ain't snitching. Well, now USADA's got to defend themselves, because if you guys are telling people Jon Jones is not snitching, then what you're doing is you're putting USADA's integrity on the line. USADA does not want to lose their integrity. USADA doesn't want people thinking they got paid off. So they're going to let you know how Jon Jones got a reduced suspension. They're going to let you know why it's 15 months when it was originally 48 months. Jon Jones was suspended for 4 years, 48 months. He was not going to be back until 2020. But he got 30 months taken off for providing substantial assistance, and an additional 3 taken off because they couldn't find fault, or they didn't see the reason Jon Jones would take a steroid or something like that. So that's where 3 months got knocked off. But let me just tell you guys this. All of these other people that have got popped for fucking steroids and they were proven innocent, Anderson Silva, Junior Dos Santos, Yoel Romero, Chris Cyborg, I can go on and on. Josh Barnett, I can go on and on with fighters who popped for steroids, and then USADA came out and said, no, it was a contaminated supplement. And in all of those cases, there has never been fucking section 10.6.1 where they had to provide substantial assistance. If USADA really believed that Jon Jones was on a contaminated supplement and this was accidental and Jon Jones had no fault, then why does he have to tell on somebody? If Jon Jones was really innocent here, why does he have to tell on somebody to get his sentence reduced? Can't you just say, hey, Jon Jones was innocent, we fucked up again, our bad? No, how come you have to make him tell on somebody? So, my ultimate conclusion, and I promise I wasn't going to make this video, you guys, because I'm not trying to be like the only fucking guy out there making videos calling this for how it is. There's some people on Twitter that are like, what's going on? Jon Jones is snitching. What the fuck are you guys talking about contaminated supplements? But as a part of the independent media, I guess you could call it, someone that just talks about news, that's just a fan. I'm not a fucking a credentialed media member. I'm not nothing like that, but I'm calling it how I see it, and I'm bringing up the fucking facts. And I actually had some people tell me, this is yellow journalism. You're pointing out Jon Jones could be snitching, but they said he didn't. You fucking bitch, you. For one, I'm not a journalist, so I don't know what the fuck yellow journalism is. And for fucking two, I'm pointing out what's in the USADA paperwork. 30 months reduced for providing substantial assistance. I'm not coming out here making that shit up out of my ass. Coming up with a fucking theory. That's facts. That's paperwork, buddy. And so with that being said, USADA has had to come out and defend themselves one last time, because people are saying, hey, you guys have rule 10.6.1 and it says Jon Jones has to snitch, but everybody's saying he's innocent and he's not snitching. So what's going on? Are you guys lying? And so USADA came out and said, they reiterated, importantly, if the athlete or support personnel fails to continue to cooperate and provide credible substantial assistance, USADA will reinstate the original sanction. These rules set out in 10.6.1.1 are crystal clear, and if they are not met, an individual would be considered for a reduction based on substantial assistance. So they're saying, the rules are clear. You're reading what you're reading. Now, yeah, they're probably trying to protect Jon Jones' image out here because he's a big star in the sport. But USADA ain't fucking around. That's what they're saying. We ain't fucking around. We're going to clean up this sport. And yeah, Jon Jones is coming back, but you see 10.6.1 and that shit is clear. Like, they said the rules set out in 10.6.1 are crystal clear. And the rules are, you must provide substantial assistance. And they also made sure to point out, if the athlete, Jon Jones in this case, if Jon Jones does not continue to provide substantial assistance, he will get slapped with that 30-month suspension. And so with that being said, we're not going to know who Jon Jones told on. Now, USADA is telling us it's somebody. We don't know who it is. But in 10.6.1, it does not say you can tell on yourself, like Jon Jones' agent might have said. In 10.6.1, it says you must provide substantial assistance, and if you don't, you will get resuspended. So with that being said, you be your own judge. I know there's a lot of Jon Jones simps out there that they still don't believe Jon Jones would ever even ingest a banned substance. They probably don't even believe Jon Jones did cocaine in the past. These people don't believe Jon Jones was behind the wheel. These people don't believe Jon Jones would do anything except for go to church on Sunday. So I get it. There's a lot of Jon Jones simps out there. And of course, respect on his skills, right? As far as his skill level and his fight IQ, it's up there. But if you're just being 100% fair to the rest of the athletes with USADA in town, you got to say DC's at least the natty GOAT. Even if you still look at Jon Jones as the GOAT because of what he did before USADA, you still have to admit with USADA, shit is a little sketchy. And what the fuck does that mean? So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. USADA is coming out and reiterating, yes, 10.6.1 is crystal clear. And if the individual does not continue to snitch, they will get hit with the 30 months. In other words. So with that being said, man, that's the motherfucking rules. USADA's credibility, their integrity is intact, and I think that's the important thing here. Brock Lesnar is getting smaller. So if he's going through USADA testing, that makes sense. He's getting smaller. He stopped taking banned substances. At least the ones he can't hide. And so now he's coming back to the UFC. But as a result, his body's getting smaller. He's shrinking because he's getting tested by USADA. Jon Jones failed his test, but he's getting a lighter sentence by using 10.6.1. And we know what that is. So with that being said, it is what it is, man. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da! It's the motherfucking DOG.